Today, we'll be talking about the beautiful oasis of Sri Lanka and 10 must-do things when you're there. Welcome back to FTD Facts. I'm Sarah Carvalho and I'm super excited for today's video about the gorgeous Sri Lanka. If you didn't know already, we have tons of videos about all different aspects of Sri Lanka, so be sure to stick around until the end for those links. As a well-known country for many travelers, Sri Lanka is adored for its mix of religions and cultures, its timeless temples, its rich and accessible wildlife, its growing surf scene, and its people who welcome all with their hospitality and friendliness. Today, we'll be exploring 10 must-do experiences and activities that you've got to have when you visit Sri Lanka. Let's get right into it. Starting in at number 10, we have trek through tea plantations. If you are looking to gain historical context and perspective, taking a guided tour through some of the tea plantations in Nuwara Eliya is one of the best things to do in Sri Lanka. When taking an advanced tour, the tea trail often begins by the roadside while winding between steep tea terraces. Keep in mind there are usually no steps on these terraces, and the tea pluckers must carefully scale the sharp incline. The tea plants are scattered with no particular pattern, although they are often layered, creating a beautiful linear design on the side of the mountain. Many travelers have said that the views and the experience of observing the tea pluckers at work is unforgettable. How about a safari in Kaudulla National Park? It is an unmissable experience to go on a safari while in Sri Lanka. There are many national parks with great experiences, and Kaudulla National Park is one of many parks with amazing views. Visitors climb into an open-top jeep and cruise through the jungle to catch a glimpse of a variety of animals, including, but not limited to, owls, monkeys, and perhaps the most exciting, herds of wild elephants. Some herds having more than 100 elephants relaxing near waterholes. Can you imagine the feeling of staring out at hundreds of these majestic creatures? Okay, if you're adventurous, you're gonna love this next one, the famous rope swing. Now, there are plenty of places around the world that have become viral travel hotspots overnight. The palm tree rope swing at Dalawela Beach is a prime example of a social media hotspot. For travelers, it's an awesome spot for a fun afternoon or a sunset and chill place to hang out and get these sought-after Instagram photos. The location of the swing is on Dalawela Beach, which is in the south of Sri Lanka near the popular town of Unawatuna. The exact location of the swing is actually in front of a guest house called Dream Cabana. It is said that the people who run the place initially built the swing for their own amusement, and then one day it suddenly took off and became a popular tourist hotspot. If you're a foodie, you'll enjoy exploring the markets. There are markets all over Sri Lanka, all of which will be great to explore. Try new fruits, taste some local dishes, and of course, meet the local vendors. This is perhaps one of the most authentic ways to interact with locals and also gain some insight into the local way of life, the culture, and the local traditions. And you definitely cannot visit Sri Lanka without checking out the 9-Arch Bridge. The 9-Arch Bridge in Ella is on the Damodara Loop and spans 91 meters at a height of 24 meters. The beautiful 9 arches make it a very picturesque spot, especially as it is located in a dense jungle and agricultural setting. Behind the railway, a forest is booming, and below, tea leaves are being cultivated. The bridge was built at Gotawala between the Ella and Damodara stations during the British colonial period. Locally, it is known as Ahas Namaya Palama, meaning 9 Skies Bridge in Sinhala. The name derives from the visual experience. When you stand below the bridge and look up, you can see the sky through each of the 9 arches. All right, my hikers, this is for you. Ella is a hiking hotspot in the mountain country of Sri Lanka. If you want to enjoy some of the best views without needing to hike for hours, Little Adams Peak is the perfect trek, especially for an unforgettable sunset. The trail begins with a moderate incline as it winds through tree plantations. It will lead you up to 1,141 meters above sea level. Once at the top, you can take in the mountains and the epic scenery of the 360-degree views. For a relatively short hike, Little Adams Peak gives you unbelievable views and is the ideal way to spend sunset in Ella. Coming in at number 4, we have riding the train from KANDY to Ella. The KANDY to Ella train journey is said to be one of the most scenic, epic train journeys, if not only just in Sri Lanka, but the world. Tickets can be purchased for as little as $1.50 as you climb aboard for the 5-hour journey. The views on both sides of the rail are breathtaking. The train winds through the mountains overlooking farms and villages and, of course, vast tea plantations. Travelers say that standing at an opening and hanging out of the train gives you the best views and an awesome feeling as long as you're careful. All right, what you may not know is that Sri Lanka is famous for its waves. The south coast of Sri Lanka is a surfer's paradise. Around each corner is a new break being enjoyed by only a handful. A searing sun, the warmest water, and endless waves makes the south the perfect surfari destination. Now, what makes it a surfari? Well, no matter where you are and traveling along the coast, you are never far away from the jungle and monkeys, peacocks, and other jungle bliss. There really aren't too many places in the world that combine both the jungle and surfing in such close proximity. All right, for you hikers, we have another one. DIYALUMA Falls is the second biggest waterfall in Sri Lanka and is the perfect spot for a full-day adventure. There are multiple falls and natural pools throughout this hike in the Kaudulla region. Keep in mind, the hike is almost entirely downhill and leads through long grasslands, but the trail is marked, so the whole way you don't have to worry about getting lost. All right, and coming in at number 1, you absolutely have to try climbing Sigiriya Rock. Sigiriya Rock is referred to as the 8th wonder of the world. It is a truly astonishing feat of architecture. The fortress at the top has been subjected to many wars and invasions, making this a very historic site. It's one of the most popular tourist things to do in Sri Lanka. At 370 meters above sea level and 200 meters higher than the jungle below is the top of Sigiriya Rock. The fortress is comprised of abandoned palaces, ponds, waterways, canals, stairs, and walls. It is definitely worth a climb to the top for some of the most memorable sunsets. Friends, that brings us to the end of today's video on 10 must-do things in Sri Lanka. As someone who has had the pleasure of visiting this beautiful country, I can certainly say that this list is definitely full of some amazing activities to check out. But listen, don't be fooled by this short list. There are so many other things to do and see in Sri Lanka that you could probably keep busy for weeks. And let me know, what was your favorite activity from today's video? Have you been fortunate enough to try some of them or all of them? Let us know in the comments below. And as I mentioned earlier, I've linked some of our other popular videos on Sri Lanka below for you, so make sure to check those out. Click those links in the description section. And before we go, don't forget to show us the love by liking, subscribing, and ringing that bell to stay updated on all future videos. Also, feel free to follow me on social media for updates for when I'm not filming. Catch you here next time. Bye.